Welcome. What is up, Mixer? Welcome to This Week in the Mixer, episode 12, week 10 edition, episode 12, the GOAT edition. That's right. Wait. No, it's not Tom Brady. Oh, okay. So it must be Aaron Rodgers. GOAT edition 12, Aaron. No, it's not Aaron Rodgers. John Stockton? No, definitely not John Stockton. GOAT edition, number 12. Forever number one in my heart, Stan the Man Humphries. Miss that guy. All right. It's going to be kind of abbreviated this week. Things are starting to pick up at work, so I haven't been able to put as much time into it as I have been. That's why I'm recording tonight, Thursday night. As you can see, Thursday night football game's on. Seahawks just took the lead. But yeah, we're going to get into it. Straight to the recaps. First up, me versus Sean. Want to get this one out of the way for obvious reasons. James White only scored 8 points for Sean this week. I mean, what the hell? That's your RB2, man? He only gets 8 points. Fraud. But somehow, Sean does it again. Smoke and mirrors. The fraud wins. Takes me down pretty comfortably, 179 to 115. That's all we're going to talk about for this game. Sean is 7-3, tied for the best record in the league. The game, 6-4. On to week 13. No, week 11. Excuse me, getting ahead of myself. Next up, Jake taking on Mason. So Zeke, Devontae Adams, both did work for Jake. They tallied 37 and 21 points respectively. Andy Dalton has been coming back to earth lately, playing down to his capabilities. He had an off day. Cam Newton, kind of an uncharacteristically poor day. Didn't really do much for Jake from his quarterbacks. On the other hand, Mason, I think at one point I was looking through the fantasy score leaders on Sunday, and Drew Brees, Trubisky, and who's his other quarterback? I can't think of his other quarterback right now. But they were 2, 3, and 4. So good problem to have, all those quarterbacks. So Mason's been riding them all year. Julio Jones got another touchdown for Mason, so just happy to see that right now. Overall, pretty solid day for Mace. Second highest score of the week, I believe. He takes down Jake 168 to 116. Mason up to 7-3, tied for the best record, and Jake drops to 5-5 in the tight Ho division standings. That's right, Ho. Anyway, next up we have Zach versus Jeff. So Zach's team kind of had an off day. Brandon Cooks was the standout player for Zach. He got 27 points on 10 receptions, 100 yards, and he got in the end zone on the ground. He had a rushing touchdown. Not much happening from the rest of his squad. Jeff rebounds nicely after coming off of a 3-game losing streak. Christian McCaffrey was pretty much the Panthers' entire offense on Thursday night. He got 36 points. He had 14 carries for 77 yards and a touchdown on the ground. He had 5 receptions for 61 yards and 2 touchdowns through the air. Christian McCaffrey doing it all. Should have been the Heisman winner that year. Jeff wins 146 to 112. Both teams to 4 and 6 in the Boats division. Next up, Matt versus Danny. This was the closest one of the week. So Matt, I was gaming with him on Sunday morning around, I don't know, it seemed like it was early. It seemed like it was 10:30, but I guess it had to be like 11:15, maybe 11:30. Paraphrasing his quote, does Danny even have to play the rest of my team, or should I just let Eric Ebron beat him single-handedly? Words that he would somewhat regret come the final score at the end of Sunday. Thanks to David Johnson, Carson Wentz, Marcus Mariota having good days, Danny went into Monday Night Football with a 134-101 lead. However, Matt had the OBJ Eli Manning stack. You never know what you're going to get out of Eli. If he's going to be able to find OBJ, or if he's just going to find the ground and the referee with some ridiculous facial expressions. Matt's hopes were answered, though. Maybe the Matt Hale luck is on a cool throne. Eli connected OBJ for an early touchdown on a ridiculous single high safety defensive formation in the red zone. I don't know what the Niners were doing there. Matt got to see it in person, though. They were at like the 20, maybe inside the 20, and they had one safety who's supposed to cover the whole end zone. So single coverage on the outside, OBJ, he just runs the streak, and the safety, he doesn't have enough time to get over to defend the ball, and OBJ just easy pitch and catch. OBJ got another long touchdown later in the game that sealed the win for Matt. He was pretty excited seeing it in person. Got to see the Carlton dance by OBJ, but got to see his team lose. So sorry, man. Feel bad for you, especially since the Chargers are doing so well. But I mean, put in that time, it might turn out to be rewarding at some point. So yeah, Danny loses by 9 points. So that last score by OBJ and Eli was the difference maker. Matt wins 145-134. Matt is up to 5-5, and Danny drops to 2-8. Last game we had Anthony versus Jess. Melvin Gordon continues to be not only the star of Jess's team, but one of the stars in the league. He got 27 points, including a 60-yard house call on a pitch and catch. He made a nasty cut, just planted his foot, shook the linebacker, cut to the inside, kind of like I did last night at the soccer game. Sorry you didn't see that, Matt. But as good as Melvin Gordon has been for Jess, some of her, I'm going to have to call her out a little bit here. Some of her roster decisions have been questionable of late. Leaving Zach Ertz, the number one tight end, on the bench. He's gotten like 20 points every week in favor of Vance McDonald, who was a bye week fill-in from the week before. Maybe she just forgot to swap him out. But those are the kind of mistakes that get you in the made bracket. So leaving those points on the bench, not sure if that was intentional. I don't see any universe where you would bench Zach Ertz for Vance McDonald. I know Carolina, who Vance McDonald was up against, is really bad at the tight end, but or defending the tight end. But I mean, Zach Ertz is not only the best tight end right now in fantasy, but he is one of the best receivers, period, with what he's averaging. That guy is a start every week. So, I mean, it happens to all of us. I know we got busy schedules, and that could be the reason. But I was just really surprised because, especially when two of the seeds are coming down to points, and Jess has the points. She's right there. It's just really tough to see, you know. So, Jess, step game up. We want you in the winner's bracket, not in made bracket. Wouldn't have made a difference in this game because Anthony put up a lot of points like he's been doing for the past 7 weeks. So it wouldn't have made a difference, win or loss. Anthony got double-digit scores top to bottom. His whole team went over 10 points. Tyreek Hill was his star. He got 33, 2 touchdowns. Allen Robinson got 32, and Todd Gurley the third. Gotta cover that. We love our threes here. he got 26. So average day for Todd Gurley, but you gotta love that your RB1 every week, expecting 20 points or more. 26 being kind of the midpoint. And with that, with the win, Anthony takes down Jess 180-123. The Kamish has low-key amassed one of the longest winning streaks in Mixer history. After losing 3 straight, he's now 7-0, and looking like definitely one of the stronger teams. I mean, he's right there. I would put him above Mason's team as far as the teams I don't want to face, which I get to play him in the final week. We'll see how that goes. Haven't lost to him in the Mixer yet, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good right now. We'll see what happens. Something's got to give game. Hopefully it doesn't come down to it for my sake to making it in the playoffs. But anyway, Anthony looking good. I might put him above Sean right now in teams I don't want to play. Sean's team has been kind of up and down lately. But it seems like his Saints players, with Mark Ingram coming back, have settled in to their roles, and that offense is churning again. And Sean's reaping the rewards. So, yeah. Jess loses her 5th straight. It's too bad. She drops to 3-7. So at one point she was 3-2 right there. She still has the points, so it's not over for her. But yeah, she's gonna have to scrape something together these last few weeks if she wants to get in. So that wraps up the Week 10 matchups. Just real quickly, we'll go through the kind of weekly updates. What's going on? Well, Week 11, who do we got? I'm taking on Jake, which is a pretty important game for the Hose division. Jeff is taking on Mason. It's always a fun rivalry game. Danny is taking Sean, so kind of one of the better teams versus the team in last place. Sorry, Danny. But hey, take down Sean. It's your Super Bowl. You can, be something to build on for next year. And Jess is taking on Zach. Very winnable game for Jess. No offense, Storman. Your team has been middling. I know you can turn it on. It's kind of like my team, to be honest. I've just had the luck with some wins early on in the season. But yeah, we'll see how that one goes. Both teams need a win. Both teams need to put up points, so they're going to be wanting to get at it. And we have Anthony versus Matt, another good one. Matt's needing wins too, needing points. He's right there in the fight. Anthony just want to keep it rolling. If he's up with Sean, looking at maybe a first-round bye. So some important matchups this week. Luke Wilson this week, he was inactive, so he didn't play on Sunday. Shoulder injury apparently, and the Lions look like a dumpster fire. So I mean, maybe Luke Wilson this whole time has just been a role player, and he's the glue that keeps that thinly held Lions offense together. Maybe it wasn't the Golden Tate. Maybe it was Luke Wilson being out. That's the reason for the dumpster fire, and the reason for me hating myself for drafting Stafford again. And hopefully Luke Wilson will be back next week. Really rooting for you. I think we, as the Wine Mixer, probably have, outside of his family, like the biggest fans of the guy. We're following his scores every week. I bet nobody else is checking the box score to see how Luke Wilson's going. So, at this point, we got to root for him. So yeah, hopefully he gets wet. Hopefully he gets a touchdown before the end of the season. Be great to see. Be great to see for the little guy. And Amari Cooper. So I'm gonna lose that water bet. Who won? Seahawks won. But yeah, back to Amari Cooper. Looks like Jerry Jones via Jason Garrett, whatever Jason Garrett is trying to make the move look like it wasn't a bad one, giving up the first-round pick for Cooper. So they're just targeting him nonstop. He has a good matchup next week, too. So Jess, you should start him if you're not. I think they're playing Atlanta. No, Tampa Bay. I don't know. They're playing a team with a terrible defense. I'm gonna play him on my DraftKings team, so I'll be rooting for Amari Cooper next week. This week he had 6 catches, 75 yards, 13 points. I mean, it's nothing to write home about. It's not a standout day like if Julio Jones turned in one of those days, or Devontae Adams, or I'm trying to think of some other, like Stephon Diggs, kind of the neighborhood where you might think Amari Cooper's talents should project to. He should be at those guys' level. You wouldn't be too excited if that's what they came up with, but yeah, look, I think we can expect this as a norm for Amari Cooper moving forward. Is about 5 to 7 catches, 60 to 120 yards every week, sprinkling a few touchdowns. So it took a while, but maybe just relentlessly throwing him the ball when there's no other pass catching options in Dallas like there was in Oakland, going up against the likes of Seth Roberts. You got to spread the ball around if you're Derek Carr, right? So anyway, we'll see how Amari Cooper carries forward in the weeks to come, but it's not looking good for me on that water bet. So yeah, that's all I got this week. Maybe just some quick general league talk. We're coming down to the end of it. I think there's 3 weeks left, so it's looking like Sean's in, Mason's in, and Anthony are in. It looks like 2 of them are going to be in on record, and the third will get the points, because from my understanding of how the playoffs work is last year we had 4 teams get in based on record, and it was 3 division winners, and the next best team, the next best record, the team with the next best record regardless of division. So if we keep that same logic, I haven't looked at the charter for this year. I'm not sure when was sent out, so this might be fun. But so you got 2 division winners. So winner of the boats division, winner of the hose division gets in, and then since last year we had 4 get in based on record, it would be the next 2 teams regardless of record. So, or regardless of division. So you got to figure maybe it'll be those 2 7-3 teams if we're following that same logic. So you got the winner of the boats division, let's say it's Sean, and then you have the next 2 with the best record that didn't win the division. So that'd be Anthony and Mason. And then you have the winner of the hose division, which currently I'm in that spot. And then, so that's 4 teams so far, and then 2 more based on points. So that's what we're looking at right now. And in the team, or in the hunt for those points, obviously depends on whose record and whose division. But Jeff, I know, is right there. Jess is right there. Jake is right there. Matt is right there, and so am I, depending on who wins the division. So that's what we're looking at. There's no guarantees. Points are the most important thing right now to get in, and that whoever wins the hose division is it's gonna be fortunate, because that other league or that other division, their teams have a lot of points. So that's what we're looking at. Adjust your lineups accordingly. Play to win. I think that's rule number 2 of FC Wine Mixer Corp. Play to win. Number 1, stay hydrated. I'm going to have to write this down. Maybe we'll do a whole episode on the rules in the off season. Why not? I'm going to need some work. So yeah, that's what we got. That is week 10, episode 12, GOAT edition, Stan Humphries. Good luck in week 11 to all of you. Let's get this. Catch you next week, guys. See ya.